नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भावितसेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके नैष्टिकी. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10, the Lord's return to Jagannath Puri, text 39. এই সব লোক প্রভু वैसे लीला चाले उत्कंठित हयाचे सबे तोमा मिलिबारे. The Bhattacharya said, my dear Lord, all these people who are residents of Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, have been very anxious to meet you. Trishita chatakyache kare hahakar, taiche ei sabha sabe kar angikar. In your absence, all these people have been exactly like thirsty chatak birds crying in disappointment. Kindly accept them. Jagannath sevake naam janardan, annavasare kare prabhu shri anga seva. Sarvam Bhattacharya first introduced Janardhan, saying, here is Janardhan, servant of Lord Jagannath. He renders service to the Lord when it is time to renovate his transcendental body. So during Annavasar, so Annavasar is the time period after Snan Yatra and before Rath Yatra. So after the Snan Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath is absent from the temple for 15 days, so he can be renovated. This occurs annually. Janardhan, who is here being introduced as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was rendering the service at the time. The renovation of Lord Jagannath is also known as Nav Yovan, which indicates that Jagannath deity is being fully restored to youth. So he's painted nicely, ready for Rath Yatra. Krishnadas Name Suvarna Vetradhari, Sikhi Mahatima Nam E Likadikari. Sarma Bhattacharya continued, this is Krishnadas who carries a golden cane, and here is Shikhi Mahiti, who is in charge of writing. The person in charge of writing is also called Deol Karanapad Prapta Karmachari. He is employed especially to write a calendar called Matala Panji. Matala Panji. Okay. Pradyumna Mishra Iha Vaishnava Pradhana Jagannathir Mahasoya Iha Dasanam. This is Pradyumna Mishra, who is chief of all Vaishnavas. He is a great servitor of Jagannath, and his name is Das. In Odisha, most of the Brahmins have the title Das. Generally, it is understood that the word Das refers to those other than the Brahmins. But in Odisha, the Brahmins use the Das title. This is confirmed by Chuli Bhatta. Actually, everyone is Das because everyone is a servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that sense, the bona fide Brahman has first claim to the appellation Das. Therefore, in this case, the designation Das is not incompatible. So, actually, everybody is a Das. It just, some people believe it and some don't. And when we don't, we become Maya Das, otherwise we are Krishna Das. Murari Mahati ha Shikhi Mahatir Bhai, Tomara Charan Vinu Argatina. This is Murari Mahiti, the brother of Shikhi Mahiti. He has nothing other than your lotus feet. Chandaneshwara Simeshwara Murari Brahman Vishnu Das Iha Dhyai Tomara Charan. Here are Chandaneshwar, Simeshwar, Murari Brahman, and Vishnudas. They are all constantly engaged in meditating on your lotus feet. Praharaj Mahapatra Iha Mahamati, Paramananda Mahapatra Iha Rasamhati. This is Parmanand Praharaj, who is also known as Mahapatra. He is very, very intelligent. So Praharaj is a designation given to Brahmins who represent the king when the throne is vacant. Praharaj. Okay. In Odisha, between the time of a king's death and the enthronement of another king, a representative must sit on the throne. This representative is called Praharaj. The Praharaj is generally selected from a family of priests close to the king. During the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Praharaj was Parmanand Praharaj. এই সব বৈষ্ণবে ক্ষেত্রে ভূষণ একান্ত ভাবে চিন্তে সবে তোমার চরণ. All these pure devotees serve as ornaments to Jagannath Puri. They are always undeviatingly meditating upon your lotus feet. तबे सबे भूमि पड़े दंडवत हाया सवा लिंगिला प्रभु प्रसाद करिया. After this introduction, everyone fell to the ground like rods. Being very merciful upon them all, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced each one of them. Hena kale aila tata bhavananda rai chari putra sange pade Mahaprabhu rupai. At this time, Bhavanand Rai appeared with 4 of his sons, and all of them fell down at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhavanand Rai had 5 sons, one of whom was the exalted personality known as Ramanand Rai. Bhavanand Rai first met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after his return from South India. At that time, Ramanand Rai was still serving at his government post. Therefore, when Bhavanand Rai went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went with his 4 other sons. They were named Vaninath, Gopinath, Kalanidhi, and Sudhanidhi. A description of Bhavanand Rai and 5 sons is given in Madhya Lila. Now, who is this Bhavanand Rai? He is Maharaj Pandu. And these 4 brothers were Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, and Sahdev, because Ramanand Rai is Arjuna. Sarvabhauma kahe Rai Bhavananda, ihar prathama putra Rai Ramananda. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continued, this is Bhavanand Rai, the father of Sri Ramanand Rai, who is his first son. Tabe Mahaprabhu tare kaila alingana, stuti kari kahe Ramananda vibran. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Bhavanand Rai and with great respect spoke of his son, Ramanand Rai. Ramananda hena ratna yaha ratanaye, tahara mahima loke kahanaye. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu honored Bhavanand Rai by saying, the glories of a person who has a jewel of a son like Ramanand Rai cannot be described within this mortal world. साक्षात पांडु तुम्ही तोमार पत्नी कुंती पंच पांडव तोमार पंच पुत्र महामती. You are Maharaj Pandu himself, and your wife is Kunti Devi herself. All your highly intellectual sons are representatives of the 5 Pandavas. Rai kahe ami shudra vishayi adhama tabu tumi sparshayi ishvara laksham. After hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's praise, Bhavanand Rai submitted, I am in the 4th class of the social order, and I engage in mundane affairs. Although I am very fallen, you have still touched me. This is proof that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaya Shipake Cha Pandita Samdarshini. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. See, so humble Bhavanand Rai is, Maharaj Pandu himself, Mahaprabhu is saying, and very exalted, being the father of Ramanand Rai. And he's saying, I'm in the 4th class, means he says I'm a Shudra. So those who are highly advanced in spiritual understanding do not care about a person's material condition. A spiritually advanced person sees the spiritual identity of every living being. And consequently, he makes no distinction between a learned Brahmin, a dog, a Chandal, or anyone else. He is not influenced by the material body, but sees a person's spiritual identity. Consequently, Bhavanand Rai appreciated Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement, which showed that the Lord did not consider the social position of Bhavanand Rai, who belonged to Shudra caste, engaged in mundane activities. Rather, the Lord considered the spiritual position of Bhavanand Rai, along with that of Ramanand Rai and his brothers. The servant of the Lord is also similarly inclined. He gives shelter to any person, any living entity, regardless of whether he belongs to a Brahmin family or a Chandal family. The spiritual master reclaims all people and encourages everyone in spiritual life. By taking shelter of such a devotee, one can make his life successful. So this is the position of spiritually advanced person. Mahaprabhu, he did not consider social position of Bhavanand Rai. But because he was father of Ramanand Rai, being such a great devotee, Mahaprabhu gave him due respects. So as confirmed in Bhagavatam, Kirata Hunas, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkashas, Abhirs, Sambhas, Yavans, and members of the Kash races, and even others who are addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So, whoever takes shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or is pure devotee is elevated to the spiritual order and purified from material contamination. This is also confirmed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. O son of Parth, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, can attain the supreme destination. So the main thing is to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Means to become a devotee. That's all. निज गृह वित्त भृत्य पंच पुत्र सहने आत्मा समर्पिलु आमी तुम्हारे चरणे. Appreciating Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's favor, Bhavanand Rai also said, along with my home, riches, servants, and 5 sons, I surrender myself at your lotus feet. This is the process of surrender. As Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Manas Deha Geho Yokichumo, Arpilo Tua Pade Nanda Kesho. When one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, he does so with everything in his possession, his house, his body, his mind, and whatever else he possesses. If there is any obstruction to this surrendering process, one should immediately give it up without attachment. If one can surrender with all his family members, there is no need to take sannyas. However, if the surrendering process is hampered by so-called family members, one should immediately give them up to complete the surrendering process. Of course, it depends on one's faith, how much he has made progress. Because if we surrender, means giving up everything, all family members and everything else, and if we don't have full faith and the surrender is not complete, then there could be problems in our life. So better let the faith grow slowly and the surrender process grows slowly. If somebody is fully surrendered, yeah, he can leave the family and he won't be disturbed, provided he won't be disturbed, and by thinking about the family members, and Krishna will take care of family members. What's so difficult for Krishna? He's taking care of everybody in the universe. Those who are not surrendered, so won't he take care of family members, ex-family members of a person who has surrendered fully? It's not possible. He will take care. But that faith has to be there. Faith, very, very important. यही वाणी नाथ रहिवे तुम्हारा चरण सभी यही आज्ञा ताहा करिबे सेवा. This son Vaninath will remain at your lotus feet to always immediately attend to your orders and serve you. आत्मीय ज्ञाने मोरे संकोच न करिबे यही अबे इच्छा तबे सही आज्ञा दीबे. My dear Lord, please consider me your relative. Do not hesitate to order whatever you desire at any time you desire it. प्रभु कहे कि संकोच तुम्ही नाह पार जन्मे जन्मे तुम्ही आमार सवा अंशे किंकर. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Bhavanand Rai's offer, saying, I accept without hesitation because you are not an outsider. Birth after birth you have been my servant along with your family members. दिन पांच सात भीतरे आसी वे रामानंदा तारे संगे पूर्ण हबे आमार आनंदा. Sri Ramanand Rai is coming within 5 to 7 days. As soon as he arrives, my desires will be fulfilled. I take great pleasure in his company. Ete bali Prabhu tare kaila alingana tare putra sabha shire dharila chara. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Bhavanand Rai. The Lord then touched the heads of his sons with his lotus feet. Tabe Mahaprabhu tare ghare pathaila Vaninath Patanaike Nikate Rakhi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then sent Bhavanand Rai back to his home and he kept only Vaninath Patnaik in his personal service. Bhattacharya Sabaloke Vidaye Karaila Tabe Prabhu Kala Krishna Dase Bolaila. Sarva Bhattacharya then asked all the people to leave. Afterwards, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Kala Krishna Das, who had accompanied the Lord during his South Indian tour. Prabhu kahe Bhattacharya, Shuna ihar chareta, Dakhina giya chila iha, amara sahita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, just consider the character of this man who went with me to South India. Bhattathari kachegela, amare chadiya, Bhattathari haite ihare, anilu dhariya. He left my company to associate with the Bhattatharis, but I rescued him from their company and brought him here. Eve ami hani karilan vidaye, yaha icha yaha amashane nahi aradaye. Now that I have brought him here, I am asking him to leave. Now he can go wherever he likes, for I am no longer responsible for him. Karl Krishnadas was influenced and allured by nomads or gypsies who enticed him with women. Maya is so strong that Karl Krishnadas left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company to join gypsy women. Even though a person may associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can be allured by Maya and leave the Lord's company due to his slight independence. Only one who is overwhelmed by Maya can be so unfortunate as to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company. Yet unless one is very conscientious, the influence of Maya can drag one away, even though he be the personal assistant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what to speak of others? The Bhattatharis used to increase their numbers by using women to allure outsiders. This is factual evidence showing that it is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. One need only misuse his little independence. Once fallen and separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead's association, one becomes a candidate for suffering in the material world. Although rejected by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kal Krishnadas was given another chance, as the following verses relate. So, although Kal Krishnadas, he was the only one with Mahaprabhu, serving Mahaprabhu 24 hours a day, still he got allured by Maya. Maya is very strong in the sense that we can develop a desire to enjoy Maya even if we are in the presence of the Lord. So one thing is this independence. Little independence will always be there. It just we have to try not to misuse it. And then we'll read further, as Prabhupada says in following verses, the devotees are much more merciful than the Lord himself. Anybody can fall down. Anybody anywhere can fall down. And it is true for everybody. So instead, the devotees, what did they do? They didn't look down upon Krishnadas. They helped him. Even Nityanand Prabhu helped. So this is the duty of devotees, to help everybody. Especially those devotees who have already made progress in bhakti. They just need little help, little push, little support. Maya is very, very strong. If I think I'm not going to fall down and I'm not in Maya, I'm already in Maya. Ete shuni Krishnadas kandi tela ye madhyana karite Prabhu chali ge. Hearing the Lord reject him, Kal Krishnadas began to cry. However, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not caring for him, immediately left to take his noon lunch. Nityananda Jagadanand Mukunda Damodar Chari Jane Bhukti Tave Karila Antar. After this, the other devotees headed by Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadanand, Mukunda and Damodar began to consider a certain plan. Even though a person is rejected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees of the Lord do not reject. The devotees of the Lord do not reject him. That's important. Therefore, the Lord's devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. Srila Narottam Das Thakur thus says, Chadiya Vaishnav Seva Nistar Paye. One cannot be relieved from the material clutches without engaging in the service of pure devotees. The Lord himself may sometimes be very hard, but the devotees are always kind. As Kal Krishnadas received the mercy of the 4 devotees mentioned above. Goda deshe pathaite chahi ek jana ai aake kahibe jai prabhura agama. The Lord's 4 devotees considered, we want a person to go to Bengal just to inform Shachi Mata about Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival at Jagannath Puri. Advaita Shrivasadi Jata Bhakta Gana Sabayashi Besham Prabhuda Agaman. After hearing news of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival, devotees like Advaita and Shrivas will certainly come to see him. Ei Krishna Dasa Deva Gode Pathaya Eta Kahi Tare Rakhilena Ashwasya. Let us therefore send Krishnadas to Bengal. Saying this, they kept Krishnadas engaged in the service of the Lord and gave him assurance. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected him, Kal Krishnadas became very, very sorry and began to cry. Therefore, the Lord's devotees took compassion upon him, gave him assurance, and encouraged him to continue to engage in the Lord's service. Ardin Prabhu Sthane Kaila Nivedana Agya Deha Gauda Deshe Pathaye Karjana. The next day, all the devotees asked Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give permission for a person to go to Bengal. Tomar Dakhina Gaman Shuni Shachi Ai Advaita Adi Bhakta Sab Ache Dukha Paye. Madhya and all the devotees headed by Advaita Prabhu are very unhappy due to not receiving news about your return from South Indian tour. एक जन जाय कहु शुभ समाचार प्रभु कहे सही कर जय छतमार. One person should go to Bengal and inform them about the auspicious news of your return to Jagannath Puri. Upon hearing this, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, do whatever you decide. Of course, Mahaprabhu knew he is Supreme Lord. He told them, you do whatever you decide. It's okay. तबे से ही कृष्णदास से गौड़े पाठाई वैष्णव सब बाके देते महाप्रसाद दीना. In this way, Kal Krishnadas was sent to Bengal and he was given sufficient quantities of Lord Jagannath's food remnants to distribute there. तबे गौड़ा देशे आइला काल कृष्णदास नवद्वीपे गेला तेहा सचियाई पाश. Thus, Kal Krishnadas went to Bengal and he first went to Navadvip to see Mother Sachi. Mahaprasad diya tare kaila namaskar dakhin aite aila prabhu kahe samachar. Upon reaching Mother Sachi, Kal Krishnadas first offered his obeisances and delivered the food remnants, Mahaprasada. He then informed her of the good news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had returned from his South Indian tour. Shuniya Anandita Haila Shachi Matar Mana Shrivasadi Ariyata Yatra Bhaktagan. This good news gave much pleasure to Mother Shachi as well as to all the devotees of Navadvip headed by Srivas Thakur. Shuniya Sabara Haila Paramolasa Advaita Acharya Grihe Gela Krishnadasa. Hearing of Lord Chaitanya's return to Puri, everyone became very glad. Krishnadas next went to the house of Advaita Acharya. I guess we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, just a small query I have. I was hearing one pravachan from Mukundanand Prabhu. Mukundanand, I think you know from Kripaluji Maharaj disciple. And they also follow, I think, Sanatan. And so he was telling that the things which we say, right? Shankaracharya says Advait or something. And then he was relating that this Atma Paramatma Kanch, the things which we very commonly use, right? So Atma, what he was explaining is, if Atma is direct ansh or part and parcel of Paramatma, then Paramatma is already flawless. I mean, there is absolutely no mistake, nothing for in Paramatma. So how we do mistakes, we do human errors, like we talk about mistakes, every now and then we do mistakes, right? It cannot be possible. So what he was explaining is that that energy of Paramatma, like something called Ahladini Shakti, which we are earlier talked about, Yog Maya and all, we are part of that, part and parcel of that, not directly part of Paramatma. I mean, like Lord Krishna or say. So ऐसा नहीं है कि परमात्मा को it's like a stone and then you divide it and small particles will become Atma. It's not like that. But उनकी जो energy निकलती है, ऊर्जा, like we say, right, योग माया, महामाया, so उससे जो है उसके part and parcel है. That's why we do mistakes. Otherwise, we are flawless also. So how true it is, Prabhuji? मतलब, is this concept what I explained is somewhere wrong, or कहीं पे इस concept में आपको लगता है different है from ISKCON?
But the question is, where does he come up with this? I mean, in the scriptures, Krishna himself says, Mame vancho jiva loke jivata sanatana. Mame vancho, mam ev ansha. They are my part and parcels. He doesn't say they're part and parcel of any energy of mind.
Yeah.
So
So Krishna's saying is direct part and parcel of myself.
that's what he says in Gita.
Mm.
And this is how Prabhupada has explained. Why we make mistake? Because we have that small, minute independence. We can misuse it. Otherwise, there's no question of love. Because Prabhupada explained that love is not mechanical. We are not like robots. So this love we have to develop means we have an independence. Whether we develop or not develop, it's up to us. So those who don't want to develop, okay, fine. Krishna still gives them a chance.
I mean, Prabhuji, it was like really confusing. When saying Ahladani Shakti and then Atma is part of that, not directly linked to that. Then I mean, you can hear that lecture for it was for 1 hour, I believe, 45 minutes, 1 hour explaining that whole thing, and then slowly, gradually, you may miss the link from the very beginning, from where he has started. So then you are looking at, acha, Aladni Shakti, and then it is going somewhere. And then again, Aladni Shakti is also telling some Swaroop, there are other more three forms. उससे निकल के फिर ऐसा ऐसा करके तो I said it's getting very complicated to understand because अभी तक तो यही समझ रहे थे कि हमारा डायरेक्ट लिंक है उनके साथ परमात्मा आत्मा परमात्मा का अंश दैट्स इट सो हम उनसे ही आए हैं और अच्छे कर्म करेंगे अपने को प्योरीफाई करेंगे अपलिफ्टमेंट करेंगे तो वी विल गेट सबमर्ज्ड
सी वही तो गड़बड़ हम कर रहे हैं ना.
हाँ.
Why submerged? Who talked about submerged in Paramatma? First, we are not part of Paramatma. Paramatma, in the sense, yes, he is plenary portion of Krishna. Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita, Mam eva ansha. You are my ansha, not Paramatma's ansha. Krishna is Bhagwan. And then secondly, we are not going to merge. This merging is Mayavad philosophy. They want to merge in Brahm Jyoti because for them, Brahm Jyoti is ultimate. The Vaishnavas try to go back to the spiritual world, to be with Krishna, not merge in him, to be with him in his pastimes.
अच्छा देन प्रभु जी ये क्यों व्हाई इज इट शोन इन डिफरेंट जो हम एपिसोड्स देखे हैं रामायण या कृष्णा का भी आया था रामानंद सागर उसमें दिखाते वो ज्योति निकल के ताड़का का या किसी और असुर का वो डायरेक्टली भगवान में मिल जाती है तो व्हाट इज दैट देन वो उस लोक में ले जाते हैं अपने लोक में उनको स्थापित करते हैं वैकुंठ लोक में या इज इट
नहीं नहीं असुर असुर जो कृष्ण मारते हैं या भगवान राम मारते हैं
जी
because they are not purified to go as associates of Krishna or Ram. They're not at that level of devotees. Only devotees get that special place to be with the Lord in his service, in his pastimes. These asuras are not qualified. So they get to merge into the body of the Lord. So as one place Prabhupada mentioned, it's like spiritual suicide. Mean they're not going to come out again. But because they got killed by the Lord, okay, so they don't get to take birth again. But they will not come out and create nuisance again. But then there's so many other jivas who can misuse their independence. Only two asuras in Krishna Lila, Utana and Aghasur. Because Krishna got pleased by their service, although they came as demons. So Krishna sent them to his dham after he killed them. They didn't merge inside Krishna. But other asuras, yes. So there's a huge difference between asuras and between devotees. Asuras are trying to fight with Krishna. Devotees are trying to serve Krishna.
And
So, yeah.
and in case of Prabhuji Sabri was a
He is a devotee, Baba. She
तो
did not
उसका
merge.
उनका क्या अच्छा it's like directly she went to Vaikunt Lok or it's like
Yeah,
merged
yeah,
Vaikunt
yeah.
Lok, no?
Uh-huh.
So now I understood, Prabhuji, the differentiation, like Asur, so that they do not come back and, tamasha machaye, so they directly merged
Yeah.
and, okay.
And
Bhakt will get,
these Mayavadis also, they get to merge in Brahm Jyoti. Of course, merge for them, whatever merges, the soul goes to Brahm Jyoti. But Prabhupada has explained again, and Bhagavatam also says that because in Brahm Jyoti they don't have an engagement, there is no service. Like in material world, when the soul is conditioned in a conditioned body, we are so active. There is no activity in Brahm Jyoti. So after a while, the soul falls down back into the material world from Brahm Jyoti also, because it's not eligible to go up from Brahm Jyoti to any Vaikuntha Loka. So it has to come down and then do more purification, more rectification before it goes to Vaikuntha Loka.
yeah, makes sense, Prabhuji. I think my answer is you have already explained, so it's clear that we are part and parcel of Lord, not coming
Yeah.
from the energy.
And being part and parcel doesn't mean like paper is shredded. No, it's not like Krishna is going to fragment himself and so we can. No. Soul is eternal, Krishna is eternal. So there is no time we were inside Krishna that we came out. Part and parcel means we are same quality as Krishna, but very minute. Is it okay?
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, brother. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Shri Ram.
Prabhuji, please
Thank
accept
you,
my
Prabhu.
humble
Hare
respects.
Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Hare
I
Krishna.
think small books of Prabhupada has explained these details, right?
Oh yeah, they are all over.
Yes.
They are all over.
In Shopnisad also, this point which Prabhuji was mentioning, this was very much clearly described actually.
Actually, क्या होता है ना माता जी,
Sometimes we miss it.
अध्याय 3 ऑफ श्रीमद् भगवद गीता, वहां पे कृष्ण अर्जुन को ये कह रहे हैं कि यू शुड, आई कैन ऑल्सो नरेट दैट, एक श्लोक आज ही पढ़ रहा था मॉर्निंग में, उसमें ये कह रहे हैं अर्जुन को, बिफोर सेइंग दैट तुम कुंती के पुत्र हो, तो उसने माता कुंती ने कितने कष्ट किए तुम लोगों को बड़ा करने में, एंड देन यू आर विथड्रॉइंग योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम दैट युद्ध, जो तुम्हारा कर्तव्य है उसको करने से। उसके ठीक पहले वो कहते हैं कि जो और भी आचार्य हैं, या जो मतलब प्योर मास्टर्स, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर्स हु आर प्योर, इट्स नॉट, देयर आर मेनी एक्चुअली, तो उनके द्वारा जो ग्रंथ रचित हैं उसमें क्या दिया हुआ है, वी शुड नॉट अवॉइड दैट, कंप्लीटली डिनाई दैट ना, मतलब कि उसमें वो क्या, तो कहने का मतलब ये मेरा है कि आई हियर इट टू गेट समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, कि मतलब कुछ लॉजिकल, कुछ जो उन्होंने बताया, क्या उसमें डेफिनेटली कुछ मिल रहा है क्या नहीं मुझे। तो आई वाज हियरिंग दैट एंड देन आई क्लैरिफाइड इट विद प्रभु जी की वहां पे तो ऐसा बता रहे हैं, नाउ आई गॉट दैट आंसर कि नहीं, डायरेक्ट पार्ट एंड पार्सल, मतलब कृष्णा का ने उसमें एक श्लोक में बता ही दिया है जो प्रभु जी ने बताया। तो वो जो डिफरेंस आ रहा था, जो मुकुंदानंद प्रभु जी बता रहे हैं, आह्लादनी शक्ति के पार्ट एंड पार्सल है, नॉट डायरेक्टली टू परमात्मा, तो वहां समझ में आ गया, इसलिए मैंने पूछा था।
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Chalo, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai